Our next topic is about analysis, presentation, and interpretation of data. In the preparation of data intended for presentation, so before presenting it, okay, you need to at least make an statistical tables. And in order to do that, you have to tally first your data gathered. So you have to make your own tallygram through the use of Microsoft Excel, okay, in order for the statistician to easily compute for the statistical treatment intended for quantitative uh, research. When it comes to qualitative, it is done in a different manner. So how to construct your tallygram? So you have to determine first the classes and their respective subclasses along with their respective numbers. So in order to make it more detailed, you have to construct or make rows for the classes by drawing horizontal lines with appropriate spaces between the lines and the number of the rows. And the rows should be two or more than the number of classes. So as you can see on the screen, this is an example of a transformation table of qualitative research. So with regards to the question on this study, there are three participants: the PNP, the engineering department, and the community members. So we have here the first question, and as you can see, okay, we have the theme because qualitative research is done by means of thematic analysis. You have to determine the theme for each of the answers given by the participants. So here are the examples for the PNP. The theme of their answers, okay, we have ignoring road signs. For the participant number two, the engineering department, okay, lack of knowledge on road safety. And for participant number three, we have over speeding. So as you can see, okay, there are columns and subclasses on that particular example. So how to tally data or responses gathered through a questionnaire. So tallying responses to a questionnaire in a tallygram. So all you have to do is to follow the sequence of your questionnaire, make a column in your Microsoft Excel, and then input the main topic and the subtopics or the subclasses based on the content of your questionnaire. So here is an example. So this is a study about disaster management. With regards to the presentation of your data, all you have to do is to organize your data into logical, sequential, and meaningful categories and classifications to make them amenable to study and interpretation. So your basis in the presentation of your data should be your statement of the problem. The first statement of the problem should be the first presentation that is uh, presented in your presentation of tables. Analysis and interpretation put data into proper order in categories, reducing them into forms that are intelligible and interpretable so that the relationship between the research specific questions and their intended answers can be established. So there are three ways of presenting your data. We have textual, tabular, and graphical. For our format, If we are using qualitative research, we're using textual presentation. For quantitative, uh, it is tabular. So take note of the arrangement on the presentation of your data on chapter 4. The first table should be the respondents of your study or the participants of this study uh, under your chapter 3. Second table should be the first statement of the problem. Okay. Example for 1.1 and so on and so forth. For textual presentation of data, so as I mentioned a while ago, we will make use of statements, but it uses numerals or numbers to describe data. So the main aim to textual presentation are to focus attention to some important data and to supplement tabular presentation. So the advantage specifically, if it is not too long, is that it is boring to read and the reader may not even be able to grasp the quantitative relationship of the data presented, and the reader may even skip some statements. So usually in the tabular, okay, it needs a textual presentation to explain the content of the table or the data on the table. So our consideration in the interpretation with regards to table is that you have to consider the highest, okay, the highest data, and then you have to explain, and then next the lowest data, and then explain, and then you have to indicate your implication, and implication must be supported, okay, by the content of your uh, RRL. Specifically, it can be a findings taken from your chapter 2. So this is an example of textual presentation. For tabular presentation of data, so we have statistical table or the simply table. So it is defined as a systematic arrangement of related data in which classes of numerical facts or data are given each a row, their subclasses, and each column in order to present the relationships of the sets of numerical facts or data in definite, compact, and understandable form or forms. So it can be presented through a using Likert scale with the numerical data and the descriptive interpretation or frequency and percentage, okay, uh, distribution. So here is an example of tabular presentation of data. So later on, if you have a lot of uh, variables used in a certain SOP or statement of the problem, you are required to make a summary of result, just like what you can see on the screen. So the researcher, okay, made a summary of the three, or let's say one, two, three, four, five. Okay, five variables on his or her SOP. So we have the studies all about knowledge and compliance. So you can do the same in your presentation. So gagawin natin isang table lang. All you have to do is to indicate the mean and the descriptive interpretation of both the knowledge and compliance. Okay, sample interpretation. As I made mention a while ago, you have to start with the highest data and the lowest data. And then make an explanation, or you can even explain the the difference of the data, especially if the data eh, has only point 0.2 difference or uh, zero point 0.3 difference. Then on the last part, okay, you have to explain, or it must be supported by the RRL, related literature or related studies. So you can craft the findings of a certain study to support your implication in the interpretation of your data. So the purpose of a table is to facilitate the study and interpretation, the making of inferences and implications of the relationship of statistical data, table construction for data presentation in the part of analysis, because the data are separated and grouped according to class or category. So, for example, you have two groups of respondents, and it has, let's say, on the first group, there are 30. In the second group, there are also 30. So, in your presentation of data, you have to separate your uh, the answer of your uh, group 1 or respondent 1 and the group of respondent 2. The advantages of tabular over textual presentation of data. For statistical tables are concise, and because data are systematically grouped and arranged, explanatory matter is minimal. Data are more easily read, understood, and compared because of their systematic and logical arrangement. Rows and columns, okay, the readers can understand or interpret a great bulk of data rapidly because he can see significant relationship of data at once. So tables given the whole information even without combining numerals with textual matter, and this is so because tables are so constructed that the ideas they convey can be understood even without reading their textual presentation. So table, by merely looking on the table, okay, with numbers, okay, you can see the difference with regards to the mean, okay, uh, which is can be seen on the table. With regards to table number, each table should have a number, preferably in Arabic for reference purposes. So this is because only the table numbers are cited. So the number is written above the title of the table numbers cited. The number is written above the title of the table. Tables are numbered consecutively throughout the thesis report. If there is only one table, the number is unnecessary. So title, okay, the subject matter that said table deals with, where such subject matter is situated, or to what entity or person it belongs, or from whom the data about such subject matter were gathered. When data about such subject matter were gathered, or the time period when such data were existent, and sometimes how the data about such subject matter are classified. For head note or preparatory note, it is written below the title and it is usually enclosed in parentheses. It explains some things in the table that are not clear. So it's just like a legend. stub, sometimes the stub head and the row labels. The stub head tells what the stub contains, and the row labels. Each row label describes the data contained in that row. For the box head, it contains the master caption, the column captions, and the column subcaptions. The master caption describes the column captions, and the column captions in turn describe the sub-column captions. For the main body, field or text, it contains all the quantitative or proportional information presented in the table in rows and in columns. Each numerical datum is entered in the cell, which is the intersection of the row and the column of the datum. For footnote, okay, although we are not using footnote, but this is part of the topic, it appears immediately below the bottom line of the table, explains, qualifies, or clarifies some items in the table which are not readily understandable or are missing. Proper symbols are used to indicate the items that are clarified or explained. Okay, we also have source note. It is generally written below the footnote, which indicates the origin of source of the data presented in the table. So the purpose of placing the source note are the following: to give credit or recognition to the author of the table or the source or sources of the data, to allow the user to secure additional data from the same source, to provide the user a basis for determining the accuracy and reliability of the information provided by the table, and lastly, to protect the matter or the maker of the table against any charge or inaccuracy and unreliability. With regards to the rulings and spacing in tables, it is done in a table to emphasize or make clear relationships. So there are no fixed standard rules to follow in ruling and spacing tables. The table number is not separated by line from the title, so it is written two spaces above the title. The title is separated from the rest of the table by a double line space, two spaces below, and the lowest line of the title. So the stub master captions, subcaptions, and totals are separated from one another by vertical and horizontal lines. The rows and columns are not separated by lines, but major groups, however, are separated by single lines. For the purpose of clarity, rows are separated by a double space and the columns are separated by a wide space as possible. Both ends of the table are unruled. There is always a line, either single or double, at the bottom of the table. There is always be unity in table. To achieve this, presenting too many ideas in a single table should be avoided. One subject matter is enough, one that can be divided into categories, which in turn can be divided into common classifications. So take note, okay, one subject matter is enough. For textual presentation of tabular data, generally there are be a textual presentation of table which precedes the table, or the table may be placed within the textual presentation. The table and its textual presentation should be placed near as possible to each other. So textual presentation is mixing words with numbers in a statement. So just like our example a while ago in the textual presentation below the table. There are two ways of making a textual presentation of table. All items in the table are textually presented. This manner enables the reader to comprehend the totality of the data even without consulting the table. So this is alright if the data are not so many. However, if the data are so numerous, reading becomes boring and the reader may even skip some of the items. So you have to avoid using too many texts in your textual presentation. So just make it simple. As I was saying a while ago, okay, all you have to do is to consider the highest with its simple explanation or with its simple implication, and then the lowest with implication, and then you have to provide for a support from a previous study. A findings can be taken from your related literature. So take note, you have to highlight only important parts of data. So, nasabi naman na kanina, the basic principles that should be remembered in textual presentations are the following. Textual presentation of a table should be as complete as possible so that ideas conveyed in the table are understood even without referring to the table itself. So it is generally followed by interpretation, inference, or implication. This is done after the data from the table have been textually presented. For the findings in the present study should be compared with the findings of other studies as presented in the related literature in studies. So this will enable the researcher to make some generalization if there are enough data to support such generalizations.